Hiya, viewer. Welcome back to the block. Today we are checking out Welcome to Derry and reviewing what we think about these damn kids. I can't catch a break. All I want to do is feast and feast. You may not have known it, but yeah, I'm a voice actor. All jokes aside, spoiler alert. Naturally, if you have not watched it, Welcome to Derry, then go watch it now. All right, click away, go away. All two of you that are going to watch this, go watch Welcome to Derry first. All right, because we're going to get into some shit. This is one of the best horror first seasons of a TV. You know, this is one of the best first seasons of a television show in a long time that I can think of. And here, we're just going to go through, give a quick review, talk about some characters, some plot points, positives, negatives. There's really not a lot of negative I can say about this. We'll get to that towards the end of the video. But what I can say is this should be experienced by all horror fans, okay? Not just Stephen King fans, not... Everyone should go watch this. This is great. As a matter of fact, you know, we'll get into that later. So, without further ado, it's time for the Welcome to Derry review. Don't know why I snapped. I don't know. I like snapping. I got a good snap. Anyhow, moving on. So, first we're going to talk about some characters. Let's start with Marge here. Marge is, alright, when this starts off, I hate this character. I was looking forward to this character being done and gone like Barb from Stranger Things. I know there's Barb fans out there, but I hate the fucking Killjoy character. I'm glad Barb was just outed, gone, episode 1, dead and gone. I was cool with that, but Marge is just a conceited bitch. And I know we're talking about actors portraying children, but God, I hate her. I hate her so much. I hate her more than Bruce Willis hates mayonnaise in that movie, The Whole Nine Yards. Okay, if you don't know.
But I swear to God, when they start slapping that mayonnaise on there, I could kill somebody. If you put any mayonnaise on it, I'm gonna come over your house, chop your legs off, set your house on fire, and watch as you drag your bloody stumps out of your house. Okay?
Now you know. All right. And this is something that a lot of TV shows can't do. About halfway through the season, this character transforms and changes and grows to the point where she became one of my favorites. That doesn't happen very often. Once I've made up my mind about a character, usually, I'm pretty spot on. And I maintain that throughout the entire run of the movie or TV show. So, Marge is a very unique character, has one of the most brutal attacks from Pennywise. Just fucking, woo! Snail eyes, here. Alright, I'm going to try to edit this in a way that YouTube doesn't just make me take all this down. But if I'm pointing at stuff and it doesn't show up, YouTube made me remove it. So, yeah, really enjoyed the growth of this character. Really enjoyed... This show shows Pennywise in a way that we haven't seen him before. It really delves into the effect that this entity has on this town. And the way it is there in plain sight, but also hidden. And Pennywise is a big threat. The military stuff, I didn't know where this was going. And the general is absolutely insane, but great actor. Plays Harry Morgan in Dexter. And but man, I am not on his side this go around. I don't know what he is smoking or what he's popping, but I'll take 2. All right, the level of conceitedness and the level of delusion that this guy is on, is insane. So his whole plan is he's gonna release Pennywise from Derry so the whole world can be scared and therefore come together and there won't be crime anymore. Right? No, I'm not sure that's how that works. But he's trying it, and he gets got. Very satisfying, get got. I like that we touched on the Native American stuff. I am a bit disappointed that we didn't see the giant interdimensional turtle that had a stomachache one day and vomited up our universe. I'm a little disappointed we didn't get to see that. And then, so right from the first episode, it really cements what's special about this. Okay, we're introduced to several children characters. Some are likable, some aren't so much, but they're innocent. They're children, right? By the end of the first episode, by the end of the second episode, gone. They're dead. They're brutally murdered by this bat creature here, which is also it. It takes many forms depending on what scares or what the needs of Pennywise are. We get the origin of why Pennywise chooses to be a clown, which is great. See, back when he was hunting, he realized that clown performers weren't always scary to children. All right, and he realized that children gravitated towards clowns, and they thought they were funny. They felt safe around them. They wanted to engage with them, and that makes it easier than just chasing them. If you can draw your victim into you, then it's much more easy. But anyhow, they've got Pennywise locked to a certain area of Derry with the ritual of Chud, and using the pieces of the meteorite he fell to Earth in. I will say the highlight character of this show, the best acting performance that I've seen in a long time, has to be Dick Halloran. This dude really, you know what he's thinking, you know what he's feeling. He puts it all out there every single time, and dude, there's some scenes that he is in, like the scene in the most recent episode, the final episode. Like I said, we get in spoilers. He's got The Shining. This is the same Dick Halloran from The Shining and Doctor Sleep. I highly recommend you go watch both of those. I'm actually almost done with the It book, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that book. But fantastic performance. When he is fucking terrified, you see it in his face. He doesn't have to say a word. But there's a scene here where he has spoken to some of the dead spirits. Pennywise has gotten into his head, opened his box of tiny horrors, and all hell's breaking loose. All right, he's got voices and ghosts he's seeing everywhere. Dead people. They're trying to convince him to kill himself. Come join them. They want stuff from him, and he is not having a good time. He's hitting the bottle hard. It's not helping. And we see him at a point where he is just about to end it. He's got a gun. He's about to Control-Alt-Delete himself. And there's a scene where Leroy bursts through the door. Leroy. And basically begs him. Just absolutely begs him. And the performance that is given by both of them, it makes me feel like if Dick had ended his life there, everyone in that room wouldn't have made it. This was his last chance to save his son, and the performance from both sides was amazing. We get a moment of silence really quick. Richie! No. Richie. Let's throw that up here. Moment of silence. My boy Richie. Richie is my favorite character. All right, he's my favorite of the kids. He's my favorite character all around. All right, the dude has it all. All right, he's funny. He's charming. Dude plays the drums. Dude has Riz. All right, this is Richie the Rizzler. Like, I've only ever been able to do this twice, but he's got a real thing for Marge. All right, anytime he sees her, it's like slow motion, Lady in Red. Like, it's kind of crazy, but she has like zero interest in this dude, and he flips that. I've only ever been able to do that twice in my life. I'm a 33-year-old man. All right, I've only ever been able to take a woman who has no interest in me whatsoever and somehow flip that on its head and make them very much interested in me. But the dude is skilled, he's smart, he's charismatic, and the dude is brave as hell. All right, he goes out by... he sacrifices himself to save Marge, all right? There's the fire at the black spot, and he's like, look, we got to get in here. Yeah, there's a Coca-Cola fridge, which Coca-Cola put some money in this. There's a lot of Coca-Cola stuff around here, advertising-wise. But, he's like, yeah, get in. We can both get in here, and we can survive. And he knows there's not room for the both of them. But he convinces Marge to get in there and convinces her that there's room. And he knows. He shuts it. He gets on top of it so she can't get out. And he pretty much dies from smoke inhalation. And the dude's got the bravest face on. And he man, that death... that death had me to where I couldn't even produce sentences afterwards. I was just like so defeated. But it was a real highlight of the characters and the writing, and Pennywise didn't get this one. There are other horrors out there other than Pennywise, and this was all caused by people. They are somewhat influenced. The worst characteristics of humans are getting pulled out by Pennywise's influence, but it doesn't justify anything that happened there. That's bullshit, and I think everybody knows it. We get some Mrs. Kirsch, which was Bob Gray's daughter. She showed up in it chapter 2. I remember her being there when Bev comes back and finds out her father is dead. But I really like that we got a background into this character. This character is, she works at the institute in town that lobotomizes people. And she thinks that her dad was possessed by an entity. And that's what Pennywise is. So she thinks it's actually her father in there and that she can reach out to him and kind of bring him back. And so she's luring kids to him. She's out there trying to, every time he comes back, she's out there trying to get FaceTime with him. Great scene. They transition to black and white for a flashback scene of her taking a child down to lure Pennywise in so she can talk to Pennywise, and it's a really great scene. At first, Pennywise is very confused. Like, why isn't this woman afraid of me? Why isn't this woman running from me? What's going on? And it takes him a minute after she calls him Papa to really, like, think back and be like, huh? Oh, okay, you're that guy's daughter, right? All right. And so he kind of uses her every time he comes back to kind of get a free meal here and there. And man, it really pisses me off that Dick Hallorann survived the military, survived encounters, not only survived, but really, like, we'll get to it in just a second, but went toe-to-toe with Pennywise, survived Pennywise, has the shining ability, sees dead people, survives all of this shit just to get taken out by Weenie Jack Torrance in The Shining. I hate that is the end of his story. In the Shining book, he actually survives. So I don't know what canon they're gonna go with for this universe. It seems like we are gonna. It's been long enough. We could get a redo of The Shining. It has been long enough. So I would take a spin-off series of Dick Hallorann, like right after he leaves Derry and his adventures at the hotel, discovering that, this hotel isn't like everywhere else. This hotel's haunted. This hotel takes place in a different time zone. But there's a whole scene where Dick goes into Pennywise's mind and tricks Pennywise into thinking that he's Bob Gray, which is the original human that dressed up as Pennywise, and he really mind screws him and gaslights him into believing that the whole being a cosmic entity thing was just in his head and he's a human. I think Pennywise believes it. He even slaps him once. But eventually he catches him, kicks him out of his mind, but it was a really good standoff. I really enjoyed it. Really great visuals, great tension, great... Just, so good. The transformations of Pennywise are just... Usually I don't care too much for CGI, and that is one of the downsides. There are a couple times where the CGI is not up to par. Alright, like that, and that. But, for the most part, the CGI in here is really good. Alright. All of his transformations are epic. The way he chooses to screw with people in their head is epic. And I was actually a little worried when we found out how they were going to do this. So this takes place 27 years before It Chapter 1, the movie. And each season they're going to go back 27 years for Pennywise's cycle. So we're going to get the gang massacre next season. And I was trying to figure it out in my head. I was a little worried because you go back 27 years and Pennywise is just getting the clown identity. So if you go back for a season 3, 27 years before that, how are the audience gonna react where Pennywise isn't a clown anymore? Well, they fixed that. Because Pennywise sees time all as the same. He knows how he dies. He knows... And it all seems the same to them. He sees time as all happening at once. And so the future is the past is the future, and the present is the present. And everything just looks the same to him. So therefore, no matter how far we go back, he still knows that he adopted the clown identity for this specific reason. So I do think as we go back further and further, we still are going to see him in his clown Pennywise form, as well as multiple other forms. We see him in so many forms. We got the bat, we got the pickle-headed thing, we got the tall skinny man in the woods. We've got the giant bird monster thing at the end. And then naturally we have the classic Pennywise. We got him presenting as other humans that are really creepy. So overall, it's so good. Like I cannot believe we got this. And hold on a second, I'm gonna go grab something. All right, I got it right here. I've been reading this dude since the very first episode, fucking 8 weeks ago or whatever, or 5 weeks. They dropped 4 episodes first, I believe. So I'm almost there. See, I'm on page 1048 of this book, and this is a confusing read. There's a lot of spots in here where the scene and the people we're talking about and the situation that we're in changes mid-sentence. Like, you'll have a kid like, hey, Mom, can I get some milk? And their mom's like, yeah, just 1 second, I'm gonna... And then it, like, flashes forward to a different character or back. And they're like, I held my best friend in my arms as he died, as bullets whizzed over my head, and I couldn't see his legs. And, like, and it's like, huh? Wait, time out. Let me reread that. What did I miss? No, it jumps time periods, it jumps characters, and they don't even finish the sentence, the chapter, or anything. It just does it randomly, and it makes it really confusing for someone like me. Like, I'm visualizing the stuff in my head as I'm reading it, and then it just complete tone shift and a complete scene shift out of nowhere multiple times in this book. I have read the questionable scene in here with the kids and the stuff. That's a lot of cocaine to think that was a good idea to put in this book, brother. That's all I'm really going to say about that. It's a very uncomfortable scene. These are children. Probably will not read this book again. Not just for that, but for a combination of all of these. First of all, it's a hefty, like, I could kill a man with this. All right? But, for the most part, I am enjoying the book. The way he describes certain scenarios is very, it paints a picture. It really lets you see in your imagination what's going on. He's very descriptive. But that scene, there's a reason it's never been portrayed on screen. I don't think it should. That should just stay in Stephen King's mind. But, so I'm almost done with it. I am going to finish her off. I've got, like, I don't know, 200 pages left or some shit. So we'll set that over here and get it out of the way. So yeah, won't be reading the book again. And from what I'm going to say, I'm enjoying the holy shit words. I've got that fucking gross scene in my head now, and I feel awkward. Deep breath, come on. Tip of the teeth, the tongue, and the lips. All right, we're back here. So, can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, I like the movies in the TV show better than what's going on in the book. I think it comes off better. You got visual stimulus. They're really going ham on the CG effects, which doing this in a practical way, I don't see it. Just the level of cosmic power and amount of fuckery that Pennywise can do just really wouldn't come off right with... I can't think of a single scene except maybe the pickle jar scene with the dad that they could have done practical effects with, and it would have maybe turned out better. So the big scene I'm talking about is the graveyard scene in like episode 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there. The ghost kids floating around. It looked like something out of a Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy back in the day, and then there's a Jesus like turning his head thing that didn't really come out very good for CG, but the rest of it, I'm down. I'm liking it. The kills are great. No one's really safe in this movie. It lets you know that up front very early. The creep, the vibes, the setups. This town is fantastic. The tie-ins. We leave Dick and we get this line from him. So he's off to the hotel to start his journey into The Shining. I'm interested to see where they take that. I hope this isn't the last we see of this character, because he's really been set up here as a great all-time favorite character of mine. Let's see here. Anything else we need to go over? Marge actually turns out to be the mom of one of the Losers Club. Marge is actually named her kid Richie, rightfully so, after her first love. And I'm not even going to call this guy a boy, all right? This is a man, all right? Richie is a man, all right? The man that saved her life when she was a kid, all right? And, yeah, I see that comes full circle. And it's actually kind of cool because in It Chapter 1, Richie actually finds a missing poster with his face on it, and Pennywise has it here 27 years before that happens. And that kind of gives you an idea of how time works to him. All right, he knows there are periods of time where he doesn't exist and periods of time where he does exist. And he even says, is it my death or my birth? Your kid causes my death or my birth. And essentially what he's doing is he's going back in time to each of his cycles and trying to manipulate things to where the Losers Club does not end up killing him in It Chapter 2. So that's very cool time loop concept that I like for Pennywise to be stuck in. But yeah, so the military releases him, and I don't even think Pennywise is at full power because he's supposed to be hibernating at that point, but he hears his cage door open and he's got to take this opportunity to go get some shit. He takes every kid out of the school. He kills the head principal or teacher or whatever and works him like a puppet, like he did with Georgie back in It. And it's just so good. You get so many good kills. You get the chopping the head, like, whoop. I don't know if I can't show that. But he chops a dude's head off from like right here with a butcher knife or a meat cleaver. And then he just like picks up the top of the head and just starts chewing on it. And it's just so visceral and so great. He hibernates in just a pile of bodies filled with blood. And so for the last act, from here down, is just drenched in blood on him. And it's such a cool visual representation of the carnage and chaos that he creates. I don't really got too much else to say on the topic. This is a home run, and I can't wait to see what they do with it. But now it's time to get to another negative. I already talked about some of the CG effects that I can be nitpicky about. Here's the bad part. Here's the part that I'm actually worried about. All right, with this whole Netflix and Paramount thing going on, them trying to buy it, I really just want HBO to come out and say, hey, we changed our minds, we're not selling, and keep this shit going, because the quality of this show is not going to stay if Netflix gets it, and I don't know what Paramount's capable of. Dexter Resurrection seems like a pretty big one-off for them as far as just like bangers. And you know for a fact, if Netflix gets it, they're going to cancel it, they're going to pull the budget back, or they're just going to push some random generic slop out for the story. And the quality is just going to go downhill. So I don't know what's going to happen to the future of Welcome to Derry. And that is such a sad thing. It's bullshit. I don't... Why? This is so good. But I can make a whole nother video about my hate of Netflix, dude. Netflix has pissed me off by canceling so many things and fucking with so much shit. That's not even getting into the whole Witcher thing. Alright. If Netflix gets their hands on Welcome to Derry, I think it's game over. I don't think they're going to give it the love it deserves. I don't think they're going to give it the script it deserves. I don't think they're going to greenlight anything. They might even just toss it to the side and not even try it for a season 2. Honestly, I would prefer that than them just being like, oh yeah, here's another random, here's a new season of Welcome to Derry, and it's the most generic bullshit ever. We cut costs on everything, so all the CGI looks bad. We replaced most of the actors because we didn't want to pay them. We got an AI script, and But this season is so good. This show is so good that I'm dreading after Christmas having to go back and watch Stranger Things. The quality difference here between Stranger Things, the new season, and Welcome to Derry is so different that I'm really dreading having to go back and watch more Stranger Things, honestly. So that is my review, this is as close to a 10 as you can get out of a season of television. I mean, it's like a 9.6. Might as well round it up to a 10 out of 10. Like, it's so great. So many great character moments. So many, oh my god. And Richie comes back for the save, okay? His spirit comes back, flips Pennywise the bird, and fucking traps him back in the fucking... Look it. Yeah. Dude comes through. And then by the end, we finally get some closure for Dick Halloran. He's still seeing dead people. He drinks this tea, which this is the reason why I'll never try mushrooms. If some shit like this happened, I don't want that experience. Whatever that is, I'm good. But he finally gets some closure in the end, and we're at Richie's funeral, and he goes and sits by. He can see Richie with his hands on his parents' shoulders, and he goes and he tells Richie's parents, that feeling you feel, it's your son. He's with you, and he'll always be with you. And so we get this full turn for Dick, where instead of resenting and ignoring his gift, he's using it to help people and is understanding the good he can do with it. And that's just so beautiful. It's so great. I like I said, I will take a full spin-off just based around Dick and his adventures after leaving Welcome to Derry. So yeah, if we're rounding up, this is a 10 out of 10. This is a must-watch for anyone that enjoys horror in any way, shape, or form. So I'm sure I missed some stuff. I'm winging it here. I don't really like to break this down and analyze it too much and make it feel like work when it's something that is so enjoyable to just watch. I feel like the thoughts that come to your mind are the most pure, like unfiltered thoughts that you can have about it, and I feel like it deserves that type of review. So definitely go watch it. I highly recommend it, and thank you for joining me here today. It was a real treat to watch this, and I was excited every Sunday. I was ready to watch this shit every Sunday, and me and my best friend watch it, and we agree it is some of the best television we've seen in a while. So with that being said, thank you for coming by. If you enjoyed anything here, like, subscribe, leave me a comment in the bottom. What's your favorite character? Did you cry when Richie went? Because I gotta tell you, it got a little dusty in here. So, alright, well, I will catch you right back here next time on the block. And if I don't see you before then, Merry Christmas. Bye.